You ever notice how you don't choose to fall? Nobody wakes up one morning and says, "Today, I'm going to hand someone else the keys to my peace of mind." It just happens. One conversation turns into two. Two turns into staying up until 3 a.m. talking about nothing, and somehow feeling like it's everything. And then one day you realize you've stopped being a full person on your own. You need a fix, and the fix has a name. We call it love. But maybe, just maybe, it works a lot more like an addiction than anyone wants to admit. Here's the thing nobody tells you in those cheesy rom-coms. When you fall for someone, and I mean really fall, your brain does something wild. It floods itself with dopamine. That's the same chemical that fires up when someone takes cocaine, wins money, or eats their favorite food after a long day. Same chemical, same rush. Except with love, the hit is cleaner, the high is deeper, and the crash is something else entirely. Researchers have actually put people in brain scanners, people who were madly, deeply in love, and watched their brains light up like a city at night. That being in love and being addicted to a substance look almost identical from the inside. So before you judge yourself for texting back too fast, or replaying that one conversation 17 times, or checking their Instagram story the second it goes up, just know, your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do. You're not crazy, you're just hooked. But let's talk about the good part first, because there is a good part. God, there is a good part. You know that feeling early on when just seeing their name on your screen made your whole chest do something impossible? Like your heart forgot how to beat at a normal pace? That's not you being dramatic. That's oxytocin, serotonin, norepinephrine, a whole cocktail your brain mixes up, free of charge, every single time they're near. And the world looks different when you're in it. Colors seem brighter, food tastes better, songs hit harder. You find yourself smiling at the ceiling at midnight for no reason at all, except that you can't stop thinking about them. It's intoxicating, genuinely intoxicating. And here's what makes it so dangerous. It feels earned. It feels real. Unlike a pill or a drink, this high came from a person who laughs at your terrible jokes, who remembers how you take your tea, who makes you feel, maybe for the first time in a while, like you're somebody worth knowing. How do you walk away from that? You don't. Not easily. Not without leaving something behind. And then comes the part nobody posts about, the dependency. It creeps in quiet. You don't notice it until one day you realize your mood is completely tied to theirs. If they're distant, you spiral. If they're warm, you're fine. Your entire emotional weather system now has one source: them. You start doing things you never used to do, checking your phone every 10 minutes, rereading old messages just to feel something. You start building your schedule around their availability, your happiness around their mood, your sense of self around their opinion of you. And the terrifying part? It doesn't feel like dependency, it feels like love. When did devotion turn into anxiety? When did love start feeling like a leash? Because healthy love, real love, it should add to your life, not quietly hollow it out. If love is an addiction, then heartbreak is withdrawal. And I don't say that lightly. Because withdrawal from real love, it is physical. It lives in your chest, in your throat, in the way you wake up and for half a second, everything is fine. And then you remember. Your brain, deprived of the person who was its primary source of dopamine, starts to panic. It does what addicted brains do. It obsesses. It replays. It tries to figure out what went wrong. What you could have said. At 2 a.m. mostly. The world keeps moving. You go to work, you answer emails, you smile when you're supposed to smile. But inside, you're still sitting in that one specific moment when things were good, when they looked at you like you were enough. It takes time, real time, not 3 weeks and a haircut time, real, unglamorous, ungrateful, tedious time. But it does pass. I promise you, it does pass. Most of the time, we don't learn. Not because we're stupid. God, no. But because the high is so worth it. We meet someone new. We tell ourselves this time will be different, and genuinely mean it. Sometimes the pattern lives in us, in what we think love is supposed to feel like, in whether we deserve the peaceful or chaotic kind. The most loving thing you can do for yourself and for whoever comes next is look at the pattern, not to punish yourself, just to understand. So what do we do with all of this? We can't unfeel love. We can't logic our way out of it. And honestly, I don't think we should want to. Because love, even the messy, consuming, chemically chaotic version of it, is one of the few experiences that reminds us we're alive. The goal isn't to love less. The goal is to build something inside yourself that doesn't collapse when love does, to be a whole person, to know who you are when you're not defined by someone else's attention, to have enough of yourself that love becomes something you add to. Every person who has ever loved and lost was not broken. They were just human, magnificently, infuriatingly, beautifully human. The capacity to get that attached? That's the whole point. Can you also be home to yourself? Can you be enough company for your own soul? Because the day you can honestly answer yes to that, love stops being something you need to survive and starts being something you get to choose, and that changes everything.